I've just street driven my A86 200 miles to Williams, Arizona for a Route 66 JDM Classic car show. But my car's not in it because I didn't register, and I didn't want to be here way early. So I'm here checking out some cars. Let's go walk around and see what we find. Starting the top end here, we've got some classic mini trucks, a Nissan on airbags. It's so cool. I haven't seen something like this in a really, really long time. So I love seeing this stuff out here. This is like 90s nostalgia for me. And right next to it, this absolutely beautiful R34. Next to that is a Datsun 1600. And across the way, oh, check this out. Cool. Across the way, we've got this fantastically done Honda Civic, lots of carbon fiber bits. You've got this really cool headlight duct here. Carbon fiber in the engine bay, carbon fiber mirrors, lots of good stuff. A little half cage in there. Ooh, and check that out. A little gurney flap on the spoiler. And of course we got a bunch of old Z cars, 240Zs. This is beautifully done. Interior looks super mint. Engine bay, fantastic. Still looks like the original paint, or the original paint color on the airbox there is that orange-red kind of color. Datsun 1600 Roadster, and right next to it, another classic truck. Got another Z, 72 240Z. These are some of my favorites because the bumpers on the 72s, or the older ones, are tucked up closer. The later models, 240Zs, have bigger bumpers for, US crash testing, and so it's cool to see these here with these, the lower profile bumpers. Next to this 71 Datsun 510 with a giant supercharger on it. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Another Z car across the way, but we can't overlook the very classic. I mean, this looks like a OEM plus kind of a Toyota truck. Oh, this is cool. Looks like you put a little Route 66 emblem on it. A bunch of old vans rolling through right now. This is awesome. Oh, that's so cool. So cool. Looks like this Z has an engine swap done to it. It's very common to see Ford or see American V8 swapped into these old Datsuns. It was just an American thing. It's what we knew for performance back in the day. So you'd buy a Datsun Grand Touring car, a Z car, and then you put a high performance American engine in it. Infiniti Q45 and another old truck. I love these Datsun trucks. This one's got a single overhead cam KA24 in it. And this is something else. We've got a Toyota long bed. Hey Chris! We've got a Toyota long bed trailer pulled by a Toyota Hilux or pickup. '22 RTE? No way! This is a turbo 22R. Well, 22RE, that's cool. What? That's amazing. And then a pre-runner Nissan pickup truck. Oh, that's cool. It's got the surfboard on the roof. Man, super mint interior. R33 next to an S15, next to an SW20 MR2, next to a Celica all-track. This is awesome. And then an AW11 MR2 over here. More classic Datsuns down this way. Oh, this is like a, I think this is a Toyota Caldina. It's got a 3S GTE in that. And I think these are the, I don't know if for sure, but I think these are the ones that are water intercooled. I could be wrong. I've never seen this many classic Datsuns out in my life in one place, other than the junkyard. A Bluebird. These are rare. 610 Bluebird SSE. That's incredible. Yeah, that's amazing. And of course we have a nice Mark IV Supra. Big single turbo 2JZ. Next to Datsun Z car. Whoa. Check this thing out. So this is the generation Corolla before the AE86. And this is incredibly mint. This is like OEM everything. Re-zinc coated or painted or powder coated everything inside of here. Yeah, an 83 Toyota Corolla. Look at this. That's amazing. Beautiful, perfectly restored interior. Paint looks immaculate. Even the trunk. It's got the paint code book here. Oh, that's awesome. Over here you got the tool bag too. The tool bag and the jack, spare tire, everything. All the way from New Jersey. Five and dime with Datsun 510 coupe. Glove box is autographed by John Morton and somebody else. Awesome. And a 1600. Very nicely done. Another car I don't see very often. This is an imported Starlet GT. More Datsuns. I've always liked these with the little side vents there. And this one, is that a CA18? That is. This is like a mini RB. It's a 4-cylinder RB, sort of. A 1.8 liter, turbocharged. Well, they came turbocharged. This one looks like it's naturally aspirated. Okay, cool. Whereas this one has more of the original engine in it. Another Z car. This looks like an NA SR20 Sylvia? No, is that really? Yeah, naturally aspirated SR20, the Sylvia ECUs edition. 64 Datsun 320 truck. Such little engines in these trucks. This is a very mint FB RX7 here. These are cars that have slowly started coming up in value. They weren't very desirable for a while. And now they've been coming up in value as they've been more collector cars. This even has the Mazda RX7 fascia across the back. Not all of them have that. I think this one's an early model versus that one there is a little bit later, a little different style taillights. Another R33 GTR. Fairlady Z280 ZX. Oh, this one's cool. We got two more Zs, and this one's got this wide body kit on it. Turbocharged. looks like a blow-through turbo setup with a carburetor. And then this one, turbocharged, I think it's the original engine, turbocharged with some type of aftermarket intake manifold. Looks very similar to ones that you see on RBs a lot. First generation Toyota Celica. I love these, and this is a really, really nice example of one that's cleanly modified. The classic Apache wheels on it. Crazy wide lips. Fender mirrors. All the good stuff. It looks like it's got these Recaro buckets in it. Nice. Then next to it, we've got the Mark II Celica Supra. So these are not very commonly modified or even restored. For a while, for whatever reason, these just weren't very popular. And so these Mark II Supras, second generation Supras, are just, I think a lot of them just kind of got lost and forgotten about. But I have the rear diff out of one of these to go into Project Cream Puff. The Datsun, these are kind of obscure, rare cars with this long hatch. They got like, you know, one window, two windows, kind of an odd design. These Datsun pickups are some of my favorites. I love the old Toyota pickups. I'm a Toyota fan, but these Datsun ones, I like the way they did the headlights on these, especially this generation, the round headlights, this kind of triangular shaped headlight bezels. And this one looks like has a headlight duct. Oh, it does, for a turbo. This is a dual overhead cam KA24 out of like a S13 or late model S13 or S14 or a couple of the newer trucks, and then they put a turbo on it. Oh, this is awesome. Another kind of that classic mini truck style build where you've got the bed that comes up. Let's see, is it on airbags? Cool. Well, it's got shocks, lowering blocks. Looks like a compressor back there. Look at this little bitty thing. A Suzuki Cappuccino. Tiny, fun, zippy little cars. This MR2 caught my eye because I've never seen one with these side graphics before. Midship two-seater sports car. 3SGE 2000 twin cam, so this is not a GT, this is a GE. Which means, no, it is a GTE. There's a big turbo back there, I think. No, it's not. Just the normal 3SGE naturally aspirated. But a very, very clean car. So many Z cars. Ooh, Turbo 300ZX. And these are notoriously unreliable, but it's not necessarily they're unreliable, it's just that they're usually really hard to work on or weird to work on. Once you work out all the quirks with them, like a bunch of vacuum lines are hidden in the valley between the heads, once you fix all that stuff, they're pretty good. Now here is a Toyota Cressida. Looks like an NA7M GE. This is the last generation of the Cressida in the US. Next to another Cressida. This one is a turbocharged 7M. Looks like it's a naturally aspirated engine. Well, cover anyway. And there's the big old turbo right there. More Datsuns. Ooh. Those are cool wheels. There's the Hoshino racing wheels on an 82 Corolla. Parked right next to this Corolla, we've got this awesome example of a clean first generation Toyota Cressida. The front end on these always remind me a little bit of a Jaguar, and I absolutely love these. I would love one of these. They make them in a wagon, and I would buy one in a heartbeat if I came across one. FD RX7, and then we've got another Cressida, and this one has a big turbo engine in it. If I remember, I've seen this before a couple of times. Yeah, check that out. That's awesome. Awesome. I feel like I've seen this car before. Let's see. I've seen one very similar on the East Coast. These are awesome. RE Capella. Yeah. Car show, but hiding over here, this is a Galant VR4. This is one of the first DSMs, very similar to the old Lancer Evos, just tucked back here. These were limited production numbers, but they had a 4G63 in them. I had an old coworker at one of the shops I worked at when I was in college who loved these, and he always had a couple of them. This is awesome. It should be over there. Ah, so cool. That's cool. Chevy love side exit exhausts. Lifted Honda Accord wagon, I think. And the Datsun. And I think that looks like it's the that's the end of the show. One of the cool things about this place and having a car meet here in Williams is that because it's on Route 66, there's also a lot of car culture even within the town. So there's a bunch of old cars sitting around, just like this. Beats Gas Station Museum. Or like this. A nice old VW Bug, kind of Baja Bug style. Perfection Automotive. All through the town you'll see stuff like this. If you've ever watched the Pixar movie Cars, you'll recognize a lot of very similar stylings to certain things because Cars took a lot of inspiration from Route 66. The first one anyway. Check out this rad Alfa Romeo. Man, that's so awesome. That is so cool. Well, that's interesting. Totally walked right past us earlier, this like Suzuki Jeep looking thing. That's cool. And this was not here earlier. Oh, I used to have a Legacy like this, the JDM grill, headlights, fog lights, all that stuff with a charge speed front bumper. Although mine was USDM. This has the twin turbo, the EJ20H. The only twin turbo setup that Subaru ever made. And it's super cool, very unique, not as efficient as a single turbo, but still. So you got one turbo here, and then one turbo over here. I really enjoyed my wagon like this. Lots of space. It's essentially the same chassis as an Impreza. Well, the difference really is the trunk is about a foot longer, so there's more trunk space. Everything else, all the suspension, everything from Impreza bolts up to the Legacy. Datsun SSS wagon, and then you see this. This is essentially a swamp cooler for a car. When there wasn't air conditioning, you could add this on, and it was a makeshift air conditioning. The air goes through here, goes through an ice box essentially, and then flows into the car. This was an absolutely incredible car show to have that many awesome cars up in the mountains in Arizona, in the middle of nowhere. And I think a lot of them were actually street driven here because I haven't seen a whole lot of trailers, which is fantastic. Especially since I street drove Cream Puff, which was only a little bit sketchy. That's all I got for this video, so thanks for watching and see you next time. That is so awesome.
So awesome. Yeah. Oh, so cool.